It's your girl, Miss Lee here. Good morning, good afternoon, or good night, depending on where you are. So today I'm going to explain or talk to you about the recent marches that's been going on here in the world, the recent Black Lives Matters march. And first of all, I want to say how disgusting and disappointing that in 2020, where the world has progressed so much in other areas of life, technology, medicine, all sorts, that us Black people are still fighting for basic equality. How disgusting is that? We are in 2020 and we are still being brutally murdered in the streets by the people who are supposed to enforce the laws and protect civilian life. Yeah, Saturday the 6th of June, I attended the Black Lives Matters march here in London, and let me start off by saying it was peaceful. Treated Black Lives Matters. So the recent murder of George Floyd had another uprising in marches and protests, because it's not the first time we marching and protesting. We've been marching and protesting. Check history, okay? Educate yourself. That's another thing we all need to do. We need to educate ourselves more, especially my kings and queens, brothers and sisters. We need to do that. It's important. We've been protesting. It was important to protest for George Floyd, because if it never happened, his killers who killed him in broad daylight and who was supposed to protect him, despite if they thought he was doing something against the law, they're supposed to protect his life. They killed him with a knee to the neck, suffocated, stopped his breath. And it took them 9 minutes or so to do that. And they were quite happy. It was torture, and they were taunting him. Get up. They were saying. He's saying, I can't breathe, and they're telling him to get up. 2020, our people are still going through torture and murder in broad daylight. You're having a laugh. So we need to protest. Some people have said to me, but that's in the US. Mark Duggan was brutally killed by the police, although the police has called it a lawful killing. I think they had an inquest or something like that. Mark Duggan caused the 2011 riots when he was killed by the police. He supposedly had a handgun. However, none of the reports say this guy was waving a gun. He was shooting at the police. But this young man who was a father, someone's partner, someone's son, his life was cut short. Why? Is it because they couldn't detain him? They could have detained him. Police officers are skilled enough to detain someone with a weapon. Look at all the terrorists they detain. They detain terrorists as well with weapons, as well as killing them. They mainly detain them first. So if they can do that, they could have detained Mark Duggan if that's what they felt, but they chose to kill him. Stephen Lawrence was killed because he was Black. It took his family nearly 20 years to get justice. We should not have to be still fighting to be treated equally. To have the hashtag Black Lives Matters and then be told, actually, all life matters. Well, hear what? All life doesn't matter until Black Life Matters, because we are human beings as well. And unless we are treated the same as all lives, then Black lives still matter. Trust me. My disappointment with the march is that there wasn't enough Blacks. There wasn't enough of us. We need to stand and we need to come out and make our voices heard. There were white people there, and although we appreciate them standing beside us, they can only tell our stories as a narrator. We are the storytellers, and our voice needs to be heard. We need more Black activists. We need more Black people to educate one another. Although it is our responsibility as an individual to educate ourselves, we still need more. They want to dilute our Black History Month and call it an urban or diverse whatever title they want to put to it. The reason why Black history is so important, it not only teaches us what happened to our ancestors and gives us knowledge of the journey that our people have come, have been through. It not only does that, it's important because it was a massacre of murder and stolen life. And it's important that people are taught that so that history never repeats itself in the future. So yes, we have to come and protest, and we have to demand for a man who was killed in broad daylight by police. We have to demand for his killers to be charged with murder. We have to do that. And if it means we have to protest every week, every month, every year, it has to be done. Rosa Parks did not want to give up her seat on that bus. And they had to, my people, Black brothers and sisters, had to protest for 381 days before change happened. But change happened. So if it means that we have to continue to progress for a little bit of change, we will continue to protest for that little bit of change. Once we get that little change, we will protest again. As tiring as it is, we have to keep it going for our next generation. It's unfair that Black people still have to continue to do this, but because the problem is still there, it's still real, it's what people live every day, it has to be done. Here in the UK, you British people, as I said, they say this is an American problem. Let me tell you, my experience with British people, they're passive aggressive, okay? And their racism is underhand. I've experienced racism at school. I've experienced racism at work, in the workplace, as a Black woman. My opinions, I've been told I'm aggressive because I have them. My white counterpart is applauded and says she's intelligent, she's clever, and she's brave to speak out. Me as a Black woman, I'm an angry Black woman, and I'm an aggressor if I have an opinion and I open my mouth and speak it. That is racist. My people and myself, we are failed. We are failed in the workplace. We are failed by the education system. We are failed by the police. We are failed in day-to-day life. I don't want to be discriminated against or racially profiled because of the colour of my skin, which is something I had no choice. Although I'm proud to be Black, I had no choice when I was born to choose what skin I was born into. So let's not say we are the same and equal as others because we are discriminated by something that we have no choice. We have our problems in our Black community, as people say, yeah, Black on Black crime. We have that, we know that. But we're not killing each other because we're Black. And there's more Black people that are in support of each other. But it's disgusting when law enforcers are killing them. It affects them with their housing. And it's a vicious circle. It affects them in their relationships. It affects them as being parents. It's a vicious circle, and that's the same thing that happened when our people was enslaved. And that's why it is important for us to know and learn, because it's a mental abuse that my people, our people, have gone through for years. For years. And by the same people that will tell you all life matters. It's those people who continue to abuse us. And it's, as I said, in 2020, we shouldn't have to go through that. I heard in Bristol marches, they took down the statue of Edward, whoever, slave owner. Well, I don't care what he's done for the UK or for people in Bristol. That statue should never have been put up. How dare you put up a statue of a man that enslaved human beings, Black people, raped Black people, mentally and physically abused and tortured Black people to build his wealth for himself and people like himself. How dare they have a man like that? And you know what? Me glad to see our white people that bring it down, you know. I am glad it's white people that pulled that down, because if it was black, it would be another thing. Yeah. And if it means that has to happen for people to listen, I saw it go. But we need to come out in numbers, and we need to peacefully protest, because hear what? As much as I agree with Kimberly Jones. Listen to her speech. You can Google it. It's on YouTube. Us rioting, it makes them think, for them, it justifies their behaviour, and it makes them think we're animals, which we are not. We're civilised human beings, okay? We look after our own. We need to go out there and protest. Back to Kimberly Jones, she gave a moving speech. Please, as I said, YouTube it. She breaks down why we protest, why we loot, why we riot. She breaks it down nicely for those who struggle to understand. Please listen to it. We need more activists, black activists, as I said, in the UK. I don't want to hear my story being told by a white man. It's not the same, it's diluted. And we need to demand for our voices to be heard. Let me know what you think. Please like and subscribe and share. Thank you for watching this video, and until the next one, I'll see you soon. Bye.